Join us for a review of one of the most unique versions of the new Golf 8. This is the new Golf Alltrack. So the estate or the variant has a special crossover looking version. Everything you need to know, exterior, interior and the driving experience. Thomas in front of the camera, Michelle behind the camera bringing us the camera magic. And now join us here with the Golf 8 Alltrack in Full HD, full screen and full length. Let's go! In the front here, the new Golf 8 generation, new headlamp design, LED standard, optional matrix LED, 2x22 LED. And then the daytime running light above that here. And also here in the middle part, this connecting part, this is really cool, fancy design. And in the lower area here, you have the honeycomb structure, but also then the fog lamps. And of course, here we have activated them. You're only supposed to have them activated while driving, of course, when it's really foggy. So almost a GTI design in the lower part, really strong, gray contrasts, and yeah, it's sporty and off-roadish at the same time, so to speak. And the moonstone color here, Mondstein in Germany, also a very special one. It looks a little bit matte, but it's not a matte color actually, something in between, I would say. But definitely the Alltrack has one of the most unique stylings here for the new Golf 8. The length is 4.63 meters, 15'2" or 182 inches, and that's 14 inches or 35 centimeters difference variant to the hatch. So that's what the estate is longer. So here the new Golf 8 estate, of course, also available as the non-Alltrack version. Special for the Alltrack is then this crossover cladding right here, and the Alltrack badge comes either with 17-inch wheels or the optional 18-inch wheels we have here today. Then silver mirror caps, once again this moonstone color. And the Golf 8 shows the dropping line design, dropping line at the height of the door handles. It's always a very nice integration right here. And then the contrasting rails here and chrome at the lower part. I think it would have been even cooler if the chrome would also be on the upper part. Or what's your take on that? As for suspension, when you go with the base suspension, it's 20 millimeters higher than the normal Golf suspension. And if you go for the option DCC, dynamic chassis control, that's the adaptive suspension, then again it's a little bit lower again, because DCC always lowers the car just a little bit. However, if you then compare Alltrack DCC to a normal Golf variant DCC, it's still higher and optimized for soft off-roading. In the rear, the Golf 8 gets these new tail lamps here, very three-dimensional, beautiful design, and hatch and estate don't look that different here in the rear. New big Golf lettering. The Alltrack then, with this contrast in the lower part again for this crossover style, and this definitely a fake exhaust graphic. I would say so, would you as well? The exhaust underneath, but overall I think the Alltrack styling is really interesting. 4Motion badge here too, because this always comes with all-wheel drive. Since it's a front wheel based platform, it's a front plus rear on demand. So for the new Golf 8 you get 1 liter, 1.5 and 2 liter turbo petrol engines and the 2 liter TDI, which we also have here today. Special 200 horsepower version for the Golf Alltrack exclusively, and all-wheel drive system, as I said, front plus rear on demand. So this should give us decent power. So in Germany it will only come here with the 200 horsepower diesel. Other markets will also receive a petrol engine and also with all-wheel drive for the Alltrack, presumably 2 liter TSI then. This is the car key, slim, high gloss black, not sure how it will look like over time. Keyless entry, put your hand on the outside to close. Then also the mirrors fold in, and in a very clever way, so it's really well integrated like this. And on the inside then again your hands to open it. The famous door closing sound of the Golf. Wow, again. Awesome. So the best door closing sound, not only in the compact segment, but maybe also overall in the industry. Really cool. Then soft touch here at the inside of the doors. That's nice as well, the build quality. And here the door handles as well, all good. Here the door pockets, reasonable also for bigger ones. Then the new interior of the Golf 8. Same also goes here for the Alltrack and for the Estate. The Alltrack gets the steering wheel here with the Alltrack badge in the lower area. And the cool thing is, you can also get this steering wheel here, the one with the real button still. You know, some of the high trim models, the sport models, automatically get the one with the, with these not buttonless design, where you just have one field left and right and then have capacitive buttons on it. But here you can still get the real deal, and that's so much better still. Then special seats for the Alltrack with nice fabric on the inside, and then microfiber here on these inside bolsters. Alltrack badge, gray design, so really nice as for the look. And indeed also for the comfort, because here in the new Golf generation they worked on the ergonomics of the seats, and indeed it's really more comfortable than before. Really nice seating position, and also for tall people one of the benchmarks in the segment. So when I put the seat all the way down like this, 1.86 or 6'1", still enough headroom, and here you can pump it up, y'all. So manual seats in this case, also manual control for the steering wheel, but here you can see a good process that's always showing us when we can easily do that with one hand. And once again, I'm so glad here with the cruise control here on the left side, right side, heated steering wheel, and so on. Easy solution. Soon more to the infotainment and stuff, because that's also one of the critical things here about this new generation. But seating comfort, definitely already very good. Interior overview, soft touch here, nice decor element right there, and you see this integration of the screens. Left side always 10.25 inch digital instruments, right side you start 8.25 inch and then you go optional 10 inch like this. And the only downside is zoom more details to the screens. Here temperature sliders, not too easy to control it while driving. Also volume sliders right here. Yeah, not a fan of sliders. I would like to have that separately, but you can, for example, also use the voice command. Hello, Volkswagen. Increase temperature.
No problem. It will get warmer at the front left shortly.
So that works as well, for example, to do that while driving. Then here there are some hotkeys in the lower area, for example, for the climate unit, or here then for the DCC, dynamic chassis control, if you have that, or driving modes, it's combined then with the DCC. And if you press it again, then you go back to the other menu where you were actually, especially with the climate unit, that works that way. So at least something. Then USB-C devices here in the lower area too, and there's also inductive charging and enough space also for bigger smartphones. And then here there's a shift-by-wire DSG lever, so everything is electronically controlled, so that also works very fast to go back and forth and so on. Then electric handbrake, and the cup holders here are somewhat adaptive. If you do it like this, then you have different sizes available, 12-volt power supply, and reasonably attached armrest, nice fabric cover, and some more space underneath. Steering wheel buttons here, again happy to have the real buttons here in, which we have for base Golf, for most Golf versions, besides the top trim ones with the sporty models. And here, set cruise control, or minus or plus 1 step, or plus and minus 10 kilometer steps here activated, and then here also activate the lane keeping assist. Minus and plus for the volume, and on the other side, again also straightforward solution. You have the heated steering wheel in 3 levels actually, and then the rest does control the digital instruments, what you want to have right or left. Scroll through the consumption meter, for example. Here 5 liters or more kilometers. Our good result here for today is for the 2-liter TDI, 200 horsepower, and that is a little bit less than 50 mpg US and a little bit more than 50 mpg UK. Considering it's an all-wheel drive, it's actually okay. Then view. Here for the map, you have the map screen all over the place. You can also, change what you want to see on the right overlay then. So it really depends, really individual. Or the view like this here for the assistant systems. However, here on the right side, you can also just, have no display. That's to me better, because then when you switch back to the map view, then you have it clean all the way in the map. That's the most helpful thing when navigating. And the head-up display, by the way, not flickering for a human eye. So when you have the current speed or the allowed speed, assistant systems information, or also then GPS info when you have a destination set. Now deals to the screens, but first of all, once again, one of my biggest criticisms, that was so much more easy, in the previous Golf here, when you have the slider solution here now, and you don't have the best feeling in that. However, here rest of the touchscreen, you have either this home menu or this one, and I think it looks a little bit old school. You can also change the colors if you like, by the way. Strange, by the way, also that you say hello Volkswagen, not hey Volkswagen. I think hey Volkswagen is more intuitional now, because all other voice systems will work like this, definitely. So taking a look at the GPS itself, this is, you always appears here for your recent destinations. Then to the map, and you see here the loading times are sometimes way too long. Today it was actually quite okay, but we already had worse results. But I think since it's a new version, the previous GPS versions were faster and better and easier to control actually. But today it's actually quite okay, but only quite okay. That's not enough, definitely. By the way, here also in the vehicle settings, see, the CPU does not keep up with it, but interesting visualizations here definitely, where you can also then adjust some more of the of the system central locking here, for example. Single door or all doors. That's a little bit better while doing the reviews. So in here the Apple CarPlay integration looks like this all over the screen, and here we have the Harman Kardon sound system inbuilt. And let's listen to that. I think it's the first time we listened to that one in the Golf. And what would you say, Michelle? It's quite good, right? So, for music lovers, I think we should go for that. You also have some ambient lighting. You can pick different colors. Best to be seen here at the rear doors from the inside, and also some ambient lights in the front dashboard. Now to the rear. Here, by the way, nice illumination at the inside of the handles. And also nice door closing sound for the rear doors. Here now, very important, increased wheelbase means more legroom for rear passengers. So you have really way more legroom than in the hatch. And remember again, this is the same legroom for the Seat Leon, both hatch and for the Estate, because Leon always uses the long wheelbase now, and also the Skoda Octavia, both for the hatch, sedan, or the Estate, also this wheelbase. And there you can see they all score somewhat the same. A lot of legroom here, also with 1.6 or 6.1, and also sufficient headroom. Just the Golf hatch and the Audi A3 hatch, and sedan, they have the shorter legroom here because of the shorter wheelbase. So this is definitely a bigger gain for the Golf Estate, especially for families. And also when you install some child seats and so on, it's easier to do that. And good and very comfortable seating position here in the rear, really cozy. And you also have the same nice setup here with the microfiber inserts here for the rear seats. So beautiful visually and also very comfortable. Indeed, for a rear bench, super comfortable. Here you can fold the seats like this, and then we have the cup holder area here, non-adaptive though, and a ski hatch. You can load things through then like this. And sitting in the middle part is somewhat possible. It's also quite soft, so it does work with your head. So considering you still have a middle tunnel and so on, it's actually quite good to sit right here. And then you have a climate unit here, an easy one, and 2 more USB-C chargers. And yeah, Michelle wanted to point out that here, pockets at the inside, at the rear side of the seats, like for smartphones and so on. They have a cable hanging around here for charging or something. 610 to 1,640 liters. The capacity opening like this, and really good square dimensions. Easy pressing here of that cover, rail at the side, clean solution. Then you fold the seats right here. Also very clean and good solution like this. Then here underneath you have space for your tire or also for sound system equipment. And then you use all of the space measurements here. This is 1 meter here, and of course wider than between the wheel arches, like behind the wheel arches right there. The height here to the cover, do it like this, at the side here. So under the cover, yeah, it's about 47 centimeters, and the total height right here is about 70 centimeters. And then we can also fold the other side like this, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know, clean solution, folds all the way down, easy, and we're still in the compact segment, but we already have a lot of space, and this is here 1 meters and 80 from the total length. And you can see, by the way, that here a cabin trolley fits in like this, easily also in a vertical way under that cover, like this. Yeah, it's just then when you press it down like here. Yeah, that's maybe then one of the problems, but like this, and then we're just fine again. And here, by the way, you can also get these here to split it, for example, and you know, security for your dog or whatever. Then multi-purpose 12-volt power supply here, and then here you can actually unleash the towing hook like this, pull it up, then it's safe, press the button again, then you unleash it. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the VW Golf 8. Today as the variant, the Estate, and the special version in here also with the Alltrack. So the suspension is put up a little bit higher, 20 millimeters in the standard suspension. The DCC then of course changes that again a little bit, but it's good to have the DCC to have some more variation than in the suspension. So we do have the DCC here. Still you feel that the car is put a little bit higher. Good steering feeling, so precise input from that steering. Really good no dead zone area. Very progressive, don't have to steer that much. So you feel that it's a little bit less sporty than the normal Golf. So this one being the one with the longer wheelbase, the Estate in comparison to the Hatch, and then also the Alltrack is a little bit higher. So but still, you know, you have a nice sporty control over the car, excellent chassis, so all the hardware parts are really, really excellent with this vehicle. Noise insulation here at 1 kilometers or 62 miles an hour is really good, so decently silent as well, and a good overview, so with this classic Golf building style, can't complain about that. The 2-liter TDI is combined with 200 horsepower here exclusively for the Alltrack. This is the engine then for Germany primarily, and in some other markets there will also be a petrol engine available here for the Alltrack. Let's drop back for a second, put in here the sports mode, and we also have sports shifting characteristics, so the gears are turned up higher, and we do some 70 kilometers to 100 now. Plop, that's it, 100. So you see, it takes, you know, a second that the torque from that diesel sets in, but then we're all the way there, and it's really good performance also in, you know, from this TDI engine. So I'll also reset the consumption meter that we can soon show you minimum consumption. Putting in the different driving modes here, yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So in the sports mode, by the way, also DCC adapts accordingly. So it's a little bit stiffer then, but overall the Alltrack, I mean, the Golf does feel sporty, yes, also as a base Golf, but here the Alltrack definitely feels less sporty. But then again, you have more, little bit of a traveling feeling, not as quiet as with an SUV, but still, you know, something in between then for this crossover car. Also very calm when we do the lane change, and talking about the lanes. Cruise control is set here on the steering wheel. Adaptive cruise control we have in here. It's also recognizing the traffic signs. So here now we have to also reduce the speed. Construction side. Blind spot monitor is inbuilt in the side mirrors. So when that Tiguan here comes closer to us, there we go. There's the blind spot monitor. When I hit in the turning indicator, then it also flashes. So that's also very well done. As for the assistance systems, adaptive cruise control, here easy control, plus or minus, but now again traffic sign recognition, increasing the speed to 100 kilometers. So here, minus and plus, you put 10 kilometer steps, plus or minus, and set and resume. This is then for 1 kilometer steps, and so easy this control with the base steering wheel. Here for the Alltrack, we can still get that steering wheel here with the buttons, with the rear buttons. And that's all we need. Whew. Really glad we have that, because you might remember from the GTI, GTE, GTD, and also then same will be for the Golf R. You are forced to have this new steering wheel with the integrated, these capacitive buttons, and that's really, really annoying. Lane keeping assist here, by the way, also keeping me very well in the lane. No problem about that. Of course, you have to keep your hands on the steering wheel all the time. And that, after a while, the car is also complaining that I'm not doing that. It takes a while. Interesting. But it would, definitely. So we get off the motorway here. Once again, let's put in the sports mode to have a little bit more support from that suspension. There we go. And although we have the longer wheelbase here, it's still really a lot of fun to drive the car. Remember that the Seat Leon and the Skoda Octavia always have that longer wheelbase here from that platform, whereas then the VW Golf and the Audi A3 as hatch have the shorter wheelbase. Yeah, but does it feel so much different driving the hatch and the variant here? A little bit, yes, but not that it would be crucial. So the crucial thing is rather, do you want more space in the rear, and both for your legs in the rear, and also then of course because of that longer trunk that you have just more space for luggage. Then of course you would go for the estate here for the variant, or then especially for the Alltrack if you appreciate that styling. The seats also do a good job here already so far. The sports seats that are available for the GTI, for example, they are also really good. And I think they're maybe even better for the seating comfort, at least for my taste. But they here already do a good job. In general, the seating for the new Golf generation has been improved, more ergonomics, and also a lot of great fabric styles. There are no animal skin seats anymore available for the Golf. That's a huge step for more, animal friendliness and sustainability. So we can only congratulate them on that. Here again on the motorway, sports mode 50 to 100 kilometers. But before that, let's check the consumption. 6 liters, yes. So let's go. Plop, here we go. That's again. So again, this torque from the diesel is really, really good, and it's a good long-term engine. And if you score some 6 liters on 100 kilometers, you can even go lower than that. I mean, this is here all-wheel drive and 200 horsepower, so that's higher than we would have. For example, we had the Skoda Octavia with the 150 horsepower diesel without all-wheel drive. That went better, with more like between 4 and 5 liters. But here then again, yeah, I mean, it's okay for the horsepower count and for the all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive front plus rear on demand, but it's very well distributed, so you don't have this strong front wheel bias you feel, because already power is sent to the back then here. Of course, the Alltrack version needs the all-wheel drive. That the visual part, promises everything. So 6 liters on 1 kilometers would be some 40 mpg. The new 1.5 liter turbo petrol engine, for example, that one is also really good in the fuel economy. So if you think about the Golf in general, or the Golf variant, with its MHEV system, 1.5 TSI, mild hybrid, and the dual clutch transmission, we also had some 5 liters on 100 kilometers, so we can also easily go with that. So in our recent tests, the diesel did not have the biggest advantage anymore. But it's actually also reasonably silent in here, so we don't have any big road noise, not so much engine noise. You don't hear or feel this typical so-called diesel nailing. That's not present here, so it feels very sophisticated actually. Of course, they had to do a lot with this 2-liter TDI, which was famous for the Dieselgate. And after that, it was updated majorly, and they installed more filters and so on and so on. So at the end of the day, these scanners are really helpful then for stuff that happens after that. of course still inexcusable. So here once again, now a little bit slower, 80 kilometers an hour cruise control, and I can just stress again, when you have that standard, this base steering wheel with the normal knobs, the Golf is so much easier to drive, and with the capacitive steering wheel, it absolutely drives you nuts when you want to control the cruise control and so on. So I'm really happy that we have the normal steering wheel here today, and this is one thing to criticize less. We had the other thing that the GPS is sometimes really slow and takes a lot of loading times, and obviously need to upgrade like this cloud capacity and so on, and also the hardware and the processors. But today the GPS is doing quite good so far. And as for the climate unit, is also a thing while driving. Yeah, while driving it's not too easy to control it. Seat heating, you can access it right here then, for example, and then you always look at the climate unit. So I do prefer to have it separately, yes. You get used to it a little bit. And when you are someone who is using AC, 22 degrees Celsius, automatic, and leave it always like this, that's okay, you know, then you get along very well. And then you also profit from this new clean layout. So software today, a little bit better, especially with the steering wheel or the user interface. And hardware-wise, I can just stress again, wow. I mean, Golf is still one of the benchmark cars here in this segment because so silent, so sovereign on the road. It's a normal compact vehicle, but already gives you a very sophisticated feeling. Driving dynamics is excellent. You have a normal compact car, but you still have a lot of fun. You know, reaction times here from the steering wheel, everything precision-wise. You feel the chassis is not flexing at all. So all the hardware parts that have been evolved over the generations, really excellent. And driving the Alltrack here is, to me, a little bit more relaxing, and you get this crossover relaxed feeling also when, you know, we have the exterior impressions, definitely. And this also, you know, also counts here for the interior. And I have to say, this longer wheelbase also makes you drive a little bit calmer. You have the feeling that it drives a little bit calmer and more sovereign in a straight way. Yeah, you might lose some, you know, transverse agility in comparison to the shorter hatch. But still, you know, most of the time when we are in situations like these on the motorway or stuck in traffic and so on, then this calmer running straight is maybe even more important or so. And the DCC, even when you are in the sports mode, is really, really comfortable. DCC is a very good option, dynamic chassis control, this adaptive suspension, when you have, in general, a Volkswagen AG car. So, depending on the brand, it makes a huge difference or it makes a small difference. And here the DCC definitely adds to the comfort. Not saying that their standard suspensions are bad or so, they are also very good. But the DCC definitely gives you a plus in comfort. Plus you're more flexible when you have some situations where you want to drive a little bit faster than again situations where you want to relax a little bit more. Once again, my favorite thing is really the steering input. It's one of the best on the market because it's so precise, it's comfortable. You can ease this car in the parking lot in and out without too much effort. At the same time, you know, you always have to have the risk when you make it like soft and effortless that it does not feel natural anymore. I think we were in this hotel when we had the team meeting a couple of years ago, right? The fan meeting in Autostadt. Well, it was an awesome event. We have to check out that video. We will link it in the video description. You think of it as well, yeah, right?
Of course.
Okay, great.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, we're in Wolfsburg here today, so near the head plant, near the main plant from Volkswagen. Of course, we're touring at the moment whole Germany, less international, no international travel possible. So we do all reviews here at the moment from Germany, but of course we are doing our best to keep up the effort always for you, no matter what the situation is. So, once again, driving part, one of the best things the Golf has to offer as always. And leaving aside that the infotainment system is still not the best yet, everything else we can really say, especially while driving, still the benchmark. And the Alltrack, a little bit more relaxing to drive. The variant or the estate in general, also nice with his longer wheelbase, a little bit calmer than the hatch, but still agile and flexible enough. Awesome platform here, good evolutionary work they put in. I have to say, overall, definitely thumbs up. And now to our conclusion for today with the new VW Golf 8 Alltrack. No doubt the Alltrack version is one of the most desirable Golf versions. For me especially, because here you can still get the standard steering wheel, although you have a special version. The standard steering wheel here with the separate buttons. The exterior styling here, special, of course, with this moonstone color today, but also in the crossover cladding, I think it fits the car very well. Good driving comfort, hardware-wise, everything's superb. Really the benchmark in the segment. Agile driving, comfortable driving at the very same time. With the little bit higher suspension, both if you go for normal suspension, but still also with the DCC, it drives a little bit more crossover-like, and that's actually quite relaxing to drive. So really very well done. The infotainment system is not the best. We know that. Meanwhile, you know, a little bit better than the initial reviews we had with the Golf, so they're updating it bit by bit, but still not the best one. This is one of the weaknesses of the car, and also the user interface here with the sliders and so on, not ideal if you compare it to the previous generation. But overall, still a very, very usable car. Also in the rear now with the lengthened wheelbase, also one of the best things for the new estate, so you get along with that very well, also with tall adults in the rear, and really optimal trunk, I would say, because it's so square dimensions, so long, and you can use all the space they have. So in the compact segment here, no doubt one of the best estates there is. What do you think about the new Golf Alltrack? Would that be your desirable compact estate? Leave us your comments in our section, and also tune in next time, or to one of the other Golf reviews, or the Seat Leon and the Skoda Octavia or the Audi A3. We also have reviews of that. See you there.